when we have food economies where production and consumption are not so separated, we have food economies that nurture diversity on the land, reduce transport, packaging, irradiation, processing, all the chemicals that go into the long-distance food economy. Just that alone, rebuilding local food economies from Ghana to Byron Bay to England or Sweden, where I come from, is rebuilding the fundaments of an economics of happiness. And it's happening. And in fact, my organization, yeah, it is happening around the world. Yes, to local food economies. And my organization started promoting this about 30, almost 40 years ago. And there was a lot of resistance because people thought at that stage that they liked to have strawberries in the winter, and they didn't know so much about the pesticides, and they didn't know so much about genetic modification. But now awareness is growing, and so there is this huge desire for local food. I just now got to speak on, do a keynote with the former EU Minister for Agriculture, and he's also now embracing this. So there is change happening. And I think that in UPLIFT, we need these sort of, we have the two wings of the inner transformation and getting away from that victimhood, getting away from the fear. And on the other hand, looking at structurally, politically, how can we collectively actually create structures that we can live by, that give us more time, that give us more charity, allow us to maintain the scale and the pace of human interaction. And it is beginning to happen. It's really a very, very dramatic shift just in the last couple of years all around the world. And yet it needs more awareness, it needs more time, it needs more attention. We need to be talking about it more, we need to be raising awareness. It's the consciousness that's missing. I go to many places where people still haven't heard that it's not a very good idea to feed your baby Coca-Cola. And I go to places, even on the Tibetan plateau where I work, there's asbestos. They've built a hospital made of asbestos. And people are finding rough bits of asbestos and baking their bread on it. Well, they haven't heard that on the other side of the world, we're banning asbestos, and spending millions of dollars to get rid of it. So there's this huge need for global communication and interaction, just like here, bringing people together from different parts of the world to share our stories, and with that bigger picture in mind. And all the time, I believe, paying attention to the inner transformation and the outer. The inner and the outer are completely, inextricably interconnected. And there is a way in which, when we move away from the fear which Liz's new book, I've just seen The Galleys, fabulous book about fear, and how fundamentally important it is, of course, in our personal health, but also in our social health, in our political health, in our economic health, moving away from the fear into the love-based, and love and consciousness. I love that in Tibetan, they have one word for mind and heart. They point here, and they talk about Nge Sembana, in my heart-mind, because they see the need for always engaging the two together. And in my heart-mind is the way that they will express themselves. And so we need that raising of awareness and the flowering of the connections, which we can start with right now at home, but also reach across internationally into a global movement.